how you should be actually looking at sales. Sales is a big sort of contention point in the industry. And really, what I would like is after this session for you to be able to feel like you no longer actually have to be convincing people to work with you. Um, so many people believe that sales is really a game of how you convince someone. And a lot of people, when you think of sales, at least when I was younger and early on in my career, I thought of sales as kind of like a used car salesman kind of feeling, which is a very icky, kind of gross feeling. And many people, including myself, did not like it. And so there's one of the things that I hear so commonly, and one of the first hires once agencies get to a reasonable size in the 500 to 700,000 in range, they what do I need to do to hire someone to do BD, business development, or a salesperson? There's a number of things wrong around that, but I want to give you a little bit of a hint here. The vast majority of agencies should not hire a salesperson until they're between 5 to 7 million in revenue. And the the primary thing I think that happens really around sales is that agencies actually believe and are pivoting from the place that the client is the prize. And you're not recognizing that ultimately you are actually the one that's the prize. And they need you so that they can accomplish their goal. You just actually need to help them, actually walk them through how you actually help them, and make them understand that there's an increased likelihood of success when they work with you. So you want to walk them through exactly what they need and actually have less of this pitchy type conversation. So the opportunity here is to have you stop being in a place of convincing. And I just want to give you a couple of rules of what exactly you should be doing and thinking about in a sales conversation, so you can stop making sales feel bad and actually make it fun and provide some help and some value and make it even feel nice having that conversation with people and ultimately helping them. The thing that I want you to think about and recognize here, and I want you to really consider when you are the one that's the buyer, you don't want to be sold to. And people in general don't want to be sold to. What they want is their problem solved. Whether it's a widget, whether it's a service, whatever it is, people want that problem solved. From hunger to I need a new shirt, to I need some socks, to I need a new pair of shoes, to I need a new website, to I need a new brand, to I need some new photo or video, whatever that might be. They want their problem solved. And you just need to show them that you can. You need to show them that you understand them and that they're seen. Common thread through every single human being on the planet is they want to feel important. To family, to clients, to the world. It's a common thread with anyone. And quite frankly, anyone that tells you any different is kind of lying to you, right? They want to know that their life had meaning. So I want you to think about it this way, and that sort of idea of the used car salesman before. So I want you to think about the used car salesman personality, and I want you to think about kind of the girl in the red dress from The Matrix. So the used car salesman is kind of, how do you think of this person? They're wearing a cheap suit. They're kind of grimy. They're overly friendly. They're this like really stereotypical salesperson. They want to talk to you. They're in your face. They're like this caricature of a salesperson, right? Like that's how you think of them. And that's ultimately what a lot of pitching has you doing. You're in this caricature, different personality type, which ultimately makes you kind of feel bad, right? Like it's not fun. It was never fun for me when I thought that's what I needed to do. And having to put on this other personality. I'm not a good actor, by the way, so needing to be that person didn't work at all. Or you can be the girl in the red dress from The Matrix, where heads are turning. People want to be around you. People are going to gravitate towards you. You have this charisma, you have this draw. And that's where you really want to be in a sales conversation. You don't want to be the eager one. You want to be the person that knows they are the prize. That knows ultimately that you can truly help them, that you know this, right? So you don't go into a place of convincing. And what I want you to think about when it comes to sales ultimately is recognizing that the person that loves this, and this is what comparison to a real life sort of situation in a love relationship, who has the most control. And the person stereotypically, and this is not a long-term relationship type scenario, right? Because there should be some commonality and mutual trust and all of that. But for young, sort of superficial relationships, the person that loves least is the person that has the control in the relationship. And you want to be the person that is confident in themselves and isn't as eager, that loves least, sort of, if you will. So here's what I want you to think about when it comes to sales. And there's typically 3 different stages to a sales conversation. You have your discovery session. You have your proposal. And you have your follow-up, where you ideally get signed contract. The important piece here in any sales conversation is how do you get them through each stage? Because each stage is where drop-off happens. So let's talk about the first. What you're ultimately looking to do at this stage, there's 3 primary things that you're looking to accomplish. You need to establish authority. You need to establish the need for your service. And you need to establish likability. Without them actually liking you, they're never going to trust you. So be yourself. Don't try to be anyone else, because you're not going to be authentic and people can read through it. In the proposal stage, we need to establish 3 things as well. We need to establish that they need this particular service. Establish the desire that they're actually looking for, and the likelihood that they have for the result that they want. If you don't establish authority, the service need, likability, the need for what they actually want, the desire, and the result, what many people are going to be making the determination on is on price, but that's not what we want. What we really want is to be able to price on value and ultimately have them trust us. So I want you to think about, how do we actually go about having an engaging conversation with someone that allows for us to be able to do these things? And so what I want to give you is a couple of foundational rules around a good sales call. So the first rule here is you do not want to be pitching. Let's not pitch. We're here to serve. We're here to help and provide value. You ultimately really should be asking yourself, going into it, can I actually help this person? Is this someone that I can actually help accomplish their outcome? Have a discussion about what the value is going to be to them. Why is this important? How is this going to change the prospectus of their life, of their business, of what they are looking to accomplish? Why is this meaningful? Why is this important? So really have this deep down conversation, not this superficial, here's what I need and then here's the price, which is the conversation for the vast majority of agencies. Is they're taking orders. They're not having a conversation around need and then, all right, well, if this is what you're looking to accomplish, here's the easiest course of action to get there. So have that conversation about mutual interest and understanding how to do that. And ultimately build a relationship. And we've built relationships our entire lives, right? You and I included. We all have built relationships our entire lives. What is the method by which you actually build a relationship? You ask questions about the other individual. It's the entire framework of a sales conversation. Ask questions, give advice, provide value, and let them know how you help. Talk through certain situations, scenarios that you've had, and how you were able to help clients. And not in a pitchy oriented way, but like, hey, this is the situation that you're in, and here's where you're looking to go. So here's a couple of scenarios that I've seen that kind of worked very well for them, and here's the one that I think applies really best for you. Showing that you actually care and that you have been in that scenario. They're not a guinea pig, and you're just talking about your experience. Super easy framework to allow for you to be able to have a more in-depth, meaningful conversation with your prospect and never needing to pitch. You're not pitching here. It doesn't need to be icky. It doesn't need to be a used car salesman. You are the girl in the red dress here. You're being magnetic. You're being authentic. No caricature, no acting, no facade. Just pure, authentic you. That's it. Follow these rules in your next sales call, and you will have a much better experience, and so will your prospect. If you have any questions around and you want to share sales scripts and the process that you go through for your sales conversation, I'm happy to give it a little browse and give you some comments. If you want to go ahead and comment with them below, a link or a comment, happy to help you out. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week.